Anyway, welcome to another Tuesday voice chat with special guest star Moderator B. We had a big rip down day on Friday, and then yesterday was a consolidation day of sorts, a bit of a bounce day, and then but no follow through. Today we started off with the follow through. We said at least to 44.5. Which was 44.5. Reason we posted like that is two different targets for two different reasons. And it's just the way we look at the market and think about it. And then we rebought, as some of you might say, all up in here. And we said next interim level target was 45.75. That's the second time in a week or two that we have seen that the interim target is all we get. Now, people ask a lot or frequently, why do you post interim targets? What was the next target up supposed to be? 48 plus, right? We're supposed to see 48.5, 49. And we only got to the interim target, 45.75. What was the high here? 45.75. Imagine that. And then it pulled back, and we said losing 41.25 this time. Right there. Losing 41.25 would be more pullback to 38.75, 36.50, possibly even 35 again. So it broke. We wrote it down. We sold the bounce. Wrote it down for 35. Said that may hold us up for a bit. We got a small bounce there. Said 38.75 area could resell up against or use that as resistance. And then for 33, said south of 33, 32.75 was bonus money. And we resold 36.5 area, which is right there. And said it's a lot more important now. It's a bigger picture break, and we could go all the way to 22.25. And that would make that right there, more or less. Said that was good enough for this leg. The 33 was supposed to be good enough. We had said that this morning, that the 33 was reasonable support and decent pullback level early this morning before we broke out and made that higher high. So 33 should have been valid even back from 8 o'clock this morning. However, having made that higher high and having broken the market like we did, then we said it'll hold us up for a bit, but most likely we'll see 25.50, even 22.25. Obviously, we got all the way down to 22.25, which is, looks like right about there, something like that. And then we said bouncing back to 28 plus, can try aggressive resell. And then we said 27. I think we should use 31.25. What was the high here? 31. So here's 31.25. So when we posted them all, we said bouncing to 28 plus. Say 28.75, I think, was something like that. Anyway, there was a little pullback, but it didn't follow through. We didn't get this further follow through back down. So we said, okay, 28 plus is minimum bounce target here. Otherwise, can't rule out a bounce to 31.25, 33.75 area. So we tried the 31.25, which was fine, almost no risk. Said pull back to 27 only. South of that's probably bonus money. Possibly we see 26. It went to 26.25. And that was it for sell side. So we got absolutely no follow through. So obviously no follow through means what? Widen out to the next higher bounce target, which was right here, 33.75. which we said may be closing range. Pretty good chance that'll be retested during Globex then. So we did that. Only went a point or so. That's the clue and a half that I keep pointing out. We've been talking about it for a long time, but usually if the market's slow enough, I'll have time to point it out and say, okay, if you sold at 33.75 area and it only comes back a point or so, in this case, what was the low? 32.50. When a point and a quarter and didn't follow through, then it's going to widen out to the next highest level. Okay? That is an important lesson as a proactive trader. Now, we've got a pack of new people in the free trial room. Well, it'll be a steady stream for the next week, and then we'll have a pack next week. But we got about 20 people in the free trial room now, and they don't understand that, but somebody was asking about that. And here's the thing. Retail traders don't like to trade. What do I mean by that? They want to make money from the market, but they don't like sticking their toe in the market. They certainly don't like sticking their toe in more than once during the day. So, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. In order to capture what's there all day, every day, you have to be a proactive trader. Retail traders hate trading. They want to trade. They want to call themselves a trade. But the part I talk about repeating is they want to do it their way. Now, where does that come from? That comes from the fact that they've been hurt or spanked in the past using the stuff that they use. Well, newsflash, we don't use the stuff that they use. When you learn to trust the market, you can learn to realize that the market is going to act and behave like a connect the dots scenario, and it's just a question of defining the dots and then interacting with the market more or less at those dots with small risk. We say, a point or so. What does that mean? Well, did you enter 2 ticks in front or 3 ticks in front, or at the target, or 1 tick in front of the target, or 1 tick beyond the target? I can't define that. And no 2 trades are the same. No 2 days are the same. No 2 weeks are the same. So trying to get specific, that this tick or that tick kind of mentality, is a monumental waste of time. If you put the trade on at a decent / reasonable entry level and it works, what difference does it make? If you put the trade on at the best level for that given scenario and the market doesn't reverse there, that trade doesn't work, what difference does it make? You're still going to have to take it off, right? So worrying about it is a monumental waste of time. To go back to my original point on this train of thought, the only way we can capture all that is there all day, every day, is if we actively interact with the market, as I said, being proactive, which means it's not a question of whether or not to trade, it's just a question of where. Remember, retail traders do everything, virtually everything wrong and backwards. They want to know where. I want to know where I can click once and make 10 or 15 or 20 points or whatever, right? It doesn't work that way. That's fantasy land. I don't engage in fantasy. This is reality-based trading. The reality is I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I'm not perfect. I don't run the market. I can't make it do anything. All I can say is, here's what we got and here's where. If you're interacting with the market all day, every day, effectively trading what we have on a connect the dots kind of theory, then you will capture everything that's there. However, there will be some trades, 1, 3, more than 3 some days, that you'll have to take off. How you take them off, how proactive you are at taking them off, is going to limit your downside. But if you're capturing everything, then what difference does it make if you lose a point, 2 points, 3 points throughout the day? Who cares, right? Only the people that keep score of the negative. And they're the same people who miss all of the positive because they're either trying to be perfect or trying to get the trade. I don't get memos from the market and say, okay, HT, bing, 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 here it is, here's the one. This is the trade of the day. Attention all Kmart shoppers, right? It doesn't work like that. Wish it did, but it doesn't. I get a pretty good idea, but I'm not perfect. I can't tell you, yo, buddy, this is the one, right? We have to do our jobs. And after a while, when that doesn't bother you anymore, you're on your way. If you still get all wrapped around the axle about, oh, this one didn't work. Well, did you do the 7 before that and the 13 that were since that? Well, no, because that one didn't work. Okay, you're not a trader. Go back to nursery school. Okay? That's been my point all along. Hopefully, the longer you're here, the more you see that, and the more you realize that, okay, I can try it there. The dumbest thing of all is to be in a trade like this, sell it, had tiny risk, a tick, 2 ticks, risk, right? Catch the run down. There's nothing wrong with that trade, but expecting more when we didn't post that there was more. I said just pull back from here just to 27, possibly to 26, but south of 27 is bonus money. Okay, if you didn't heed that, something wrong there. More importantly, and this is where we get to the dumb part, and I hope nobody in here is doing that now. Most of the people that were doing that left because they thought that I could keep them from getting hurt. Well, I can if you follow the post, but I can't see your screen and I can't click your mouse. But here's the thing. If we get that and you sold it up here and you lost on that trade, you got problems. Just like if you sold it here and it only went in 1.25 points. Now this one is harder. This one went less distance. This one never got to a good TSP, but it's the exact same scenario that I've been telling you about, okay, we can try it there, but if it only goes a short bit, then that ain't it, okay? And I say all the time, give it, you do those aggressive, do it 10, 15 minutes tops, preferably 10 or less. If it doesn't follow through, that probably isn't it, okay? Any questions about this stuff before I cut Moderator B loose on you all? And
I can go through a couple things if you want to switch over. There's a concept that I didn't really understand for quite a while in the silver room, and so unless people have got some real basic questions, or I can go through this first, and then if you have other basic questions, that's fine. But I wanted to show something that sort of showed itself this afternoon. I'm going to move the front part of the day up off the top so I can see the last part of the day here easier. So if you can't see the front part of the day, that's intentional, so I can spread out my chart for the last part of the day here. As retail traders trying to working towards becoming pro traders and learning how to do it the right way, you sometimes will see we will be in this area over in this afternoon, over in this area, the low of the day was put in. HT mentioned that this will be good enough for this leg. We could see 1606, but for now this is good enough. And so we get in buy side. And one of the things that confused me early on was if we were, we'd be on buy side, taking it from down here to go higher. And HT had mentioned that this bounce for sure to 28, possibly to 31, possibly to 33 quarter. So when I first saw that, and I was trying to learn this, and I didn't really understand exactly everything that was going on, all of a sudden I would realize we were on buy side, but then I did not realize that there are more advanced traders in the room that will trade 2 accounts, and this is a good example of how when you get to be an advanced trader and you trade 2 accounts, you can actually get the profit all the way from here all the way up to here on one account, and on and your sell scalps at the levels that he talked about, you can actually get profit from them the other way. So that was really eye-opening to me, because I'd be on buy side, and HT would say something about, we'd be pulling back, and HT would say, okay, take profit here at 1627. Bonus money could go to 1626, and I'd be like, well, I thought we were on buy side. What are we doing on sell side? So I was getting turned upside down with those. But as a lot of you guys have been here a long time and probably totally understand this, but for the newer people, I didn't really understand this at first, and it becomes more clear as you see this. But even if you're not to the point where you're trading 2 accounts, just following the posts, you could get on buy side from here up to the minimum target, taken it off, and got on sell side for the pullback. Now that didn't go very far. It went to the next level down here, so you could have taken some off there, or taken your at least got off before it pulled back up to get a loss, and then taken it, waited till the next target up there and got on sell side again and taken it off there, and then got on buy side again down here at bonus money to take it up to here. But as you become more advanced and realize we don't really know if the market is going to trade up to this 28 level, because we're on buy side from down here. We don't know if it's going to go to the 28 level and then dump. So we have to take that level, take that short. Now, if you are trading 2 accounts, I always thought this just tickled me to death, and I just got excited when I started realizing this. Look at this. So if I'm trading 2 accounts and I'm long in this account, I take it up to 28 and I take my first TSP, so I take half or 2/3 off, because I don't know if it's going to dump from there. And my scalp account, I would go short, and maybe I'd take it all the way down here, and when this got down to here on the first account, you'd take it off at break even. But if it doesn't do that, then your scalp account you take off at break even, and your first account continues to ride higher. That just excited the heck out of me when I realized that type of trading is possible. And with HT's posts and the training that we get here on how to be able to do this, and over time we'll get to the point where if you stay here long enough and you put the time in to learn how to do this, you'll become a pro trader. And that's the type of stuff that you'll be able to do, because you could ride this all the way from 22 area, and your long account is still long, but you took 2 or 3 shorts in the meantime before we got to the top area there, and any one of those could have dumped to a new low for all we knew, and you'd have been off at break even on your first one and riding your second one all the way down. So that type of stuff just excited the heck out of me. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to see. That was a good example this afternoon. It doesn't always happen so easily every day that you can see that visually, but it did this afternoon, so that was really exciting.
Excellent point. Yes, one of the main components of that entire thought process is based on the following, and it escapes most people when they first come here, especially the newbies. The new people want me to post, tell me where to click. And as you gain knowledge, experience, and trade size, you don't need or want me to tell you that. It's more of an annoyance. And I'll tell you what, some of the bigger traders I have get insulted by that kind of talking down to them kind of thing. And I don't mean that I don't do it because of that. I mean, we just don't think like that. Here's what we're posting, and this may clarify it. Hopefully we'll have the light bulb come on from at least one person. I'm posting where the market is going. It's your job to capture it. I can't say, now, Billy, you've been trading 3 years, so you can click here. And Sarah, you've been trading for 1.5 years. You can click here. And Joey, well, you've only been trading 6 months, so you should only do this. Or it doesn't work that way. And I can't take a lot of time to post big paragraphs about every trade or move that occurs throughout the day. You're big people. You're all over 21, or should be over 18 at least. You know, I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to tell you where the market's going from here to there. It's your job to capture it. Now, what he's talking about is an advanced concept, and most of you have been subject to a fair bit of that since you've been here for a while. So it should already resonate, or certainly begin to resonate, that it depends, this is important, it depends on how far apart the levels are as to whether or not there's a scalp the other way, and how much momentum do we have to get there. It's not a specific rule, but if it's taking us all friggin' day to go a couple of points, and it should hold here and it doesn't, well, where's the next one? You know what I mean? Whereas if you say, okay, hit it here, and it pulls back 3 or 4 points, you know, great, another trade. Okay, this time it'll be riskier, could go higher. We could bounce another 3 or 4. So you say, holy cow, that would be like 7 points. Okay, that's worth capturing, isn't it? And that's just a generic, rough example. Don't read anything into it. But that's the point. How far apart are they? And momentum-wise, what's our likelihood of getting there? Has it been pretty logical? Hitting this one, hitting that one, hitting this one, hitting that one. Both sides, both ends, I mean, you know, it's going to go from here to there, and it hits that one, and it hits that one. Okay, great. Then you got a pretty good likelihood that the stuff going on subsequent to that is also going to likewise be hit. So, is it the most aggressive and no follow-through? Okay, it's going to go to at least the next one, right? The first one would be the most aggressive. The middle one would probably be an interim level. Not always, but probably. Sometimes the interim's all you get. Sometimes the most aggressive's all you get. And it depends on the momentum for the follow-through. Here's the news flash. If the most aggressive is all you've got, and you've got momentum to follow through, then you're off to the races, right? If the most aggressive doesn't follow through, no big surprise. It was worth a try. Then you widen out to the other one. If there's room enough to get there, then yeah, you could go the other way, but that's advanced, and that's big boy, big girl trading. That's trading to accounts, or at least being proactive enough in the one account where you can shift gears at a moment's notice without thinking about it, without caring about it. So all of those are phases of growth. People ask me all the time, how long is it going to take me to get this? I don't know. How long would it take you to learn how to juggle or ride a unicycle or play a guitar if you didn't do that? It depends on how much effort you put in. It depends on how well you want to play the guitar or juggle or ride a unicycle. You know, if you say, you know what, I want to be able to play the guitar while I'm juggling, while I'm riding a unicycle, I would say, okay, maybe an overachiever, but there you go. You got my attention, and I'll help with that cause because I admire that stuff. I admire passion. I loathe apathy, and I loathe helplessness. Okay, we got a couple of comments here. We'll see who they're for and what they got. So Jeff Rico Suave has one for Moderator B. He said, I thought if we had 3 contracts on, we would take off 2 at TSP and then the last one BE. Yeah, where's the problem? So if it comes back on you and you get taken out, you didn't lose, you still made something. That's the whole purpose of trading multiple contracts. And you don't really learn to make money, you learn the mechanics. When you trade more size, you have more options available to you. But you've got to earn the right to be able to handle all the considerations and possibilities that come with more size.
No, I think that's exactly right. And if you're trading 3 contracts and you're starting down at the bottom here and you went long, you would take 2 off here at 28 and you only have one left, and you'd hold it at break even down here. So you would not be able to play that scalp short unless you had another account. So then you would just realize that, okay, there's a scalp, there's a scalp short here. I'm not in it because I'm still holding one at BE, so my break even stop is down here somewhere where I got in, and I'm holding, and if it comes down and takes me out, then I go, okay, I should have, maybe I should have dumped it and taken short there. Or in this case, it went to the next level up, so you take your last one off up here someplace. So I sort of think of when you run out of bullets, and there's not much you can do, then you take the next step, so you wait for the next trade. So if you took 2 off here at 28 and your last one off here at 31, then you'd be, you could have shorted that. I don't know if you could, depends on how long it stayed there, if you could have got in short, out and then right in again. But you could have to take that down to here and then got on buy side again, because buy side was our primary direction at that point when we had bonus money. And then you got back in with 3 here and 2 out at here or 2 out here, depending on what the posts were, and held another one for higher.
Okay, all good, all valid. Here's an important concept that I need you all to grasp, and this is what I want you to be working toward. You make money with size, and you stack it up at first TSP. What do I mean by that? Retail traders are trying to make $1 million with a 1 lot. Or, as we've all gotten the emails over the years, seen the advertisements from the Forex guys especially, turn $500 into $1 million in the next 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever their ridiculous claims are. Why? Because they're trying to sell you something and it resonates with people. Ooh, I'd love to be able to do that. Yeah, of course you would. Stop smoking crack. Come out of the coma, and how about we get real? That's impossible because you can't compound $500 big enough, fast enough to make $1 million. Can you do it? Of course you could. If you were disciplined and you were disciplined enough not to lose the 500, or even when it turned into $5,000 and leveraged up too much. But could you do it over the next 10 years? Of course you could. Could you do it over enough 5 years? Maybe. Could you do it over the next 2 years? But that would take incredible discipline and keeping downside risk and losses to a minimum. You make money putting on size and taking off the bulk of it at TSP. That's the sure thing, people. If you're trading 100 lots, think about this. You're trading 100 lots and you pair out, say, 70 at TSP. Now you get to ride 30. You got options to take off 10, 5, another 10, another 5, and still be holding some. However, you only get to do that a handful of days a month. There's only typically 1 to 3 trending days, clear trending days, like open and trend kind of days a month. Sometimes there's 5, but usually there's a big pullback first or a big, breakout first and then a big reversal, whatever. So it's about proactive trading. So what retail traders like to do is click once and hold because they're afraid to trade. Okay. As you graduate and you learn more, see more, experience more, take more notes, see the market react according to the levels that we post, you gradually, and it is a process, you gradually should let go of that click once and hold, and you might trade 3 times a day instead of once, and eventually 5 times, and eventually 8 times, and eventually 10 or 12 times a day if we post 15. If you are sincerely trying to do your job and you miss one here and there, don't beat yourself up about it. And yes, I know invariably it's going to be the trade of the day. Of course it is. So what? Do the next one, and the next one, and the next. This is a process. This isn't a place you arrive at where all of a sudden you wake up one Wednesday morning and you are pro trader extraordinaire. It doesn't happen like that. Nor does weight gain, nor does getting fit, nor does getting old. You're not 18 one day and then you wake up the next day and you're 67. You don't weigh 125 pounds in junior high and then the next day you weigh 256. That might take 20 years. All right. This shouldn't take anywhere near the length of those scenarios, but it's like getting good at any other profession. It doesn't matter if you're an artist. You might be the most creative person in the world in your head, but that doesn't mean that you can translate that to a canvas or to photography or to whatever kind of other art form you are drawn toward. It takes time to get good at it. To get what's in your head to come out your fingertips takes a while. And it doesn't matter if you're a golfer or a hockey player or a skier or a race car driver or anything. You can see what you want to have happen. You can see where you want to have the car track. But you might turn the wheel a little too much or a little too little. And maybe you don't lose the car and spin, but it doesn't track exactly where you want it to. So you take another lap and you try it again. The big bits are easy. It's the small bits that make a creator into an artist, that make someone who wants to trade for a living into a true professional. I'll help you, but don't get frustrated that it's a process. It's a given that it's a process. And let's keep in mind, most people that try this lose. They lose first and foremost because they're stubborn. And secondly, because they have no clue how to read the market. Okay, I can read the market and post it all day, every day, more or less to the tick. That makes it simple. That makes it straightforward in terms of laying it out. But I never said easy. We stay away from that term. We avoid that term like the plague. Okay, as you grow more confident and more comfortable, the comfortable should come from the fact that you can rely on the market. Market's not random. And the more comfortable you should become with your own ability to handle it. And handle it means the trades that we don't want any longer. Just take them off. Take them off. You wishing, hoping, grabbing your chest, holding your breath, getting down on one knee, whatever it is you do, rubbing Buddha's belly, isn't going to make the trade work. It's up to you to be proactive and handle it. As you gain more confidence and ability to handle it, you can trade more size. And that's where the juice is. That's where all the meat of trading lies. That's where all the money that you seek lies, is in trading size. And here's why. Retail traders want to click once and hold, like I said, because they see the move from this target A all the way up to target B or all the way down to target B. It doesn't matter. Okay? And they want to not stick their toe in too much or too often. They don't want to put too much at risk, but they want to get the big run. Please. And what is that going to give you? Ooh, I made 20 points with my one lot. Congratulations. You made $1,000. Woohoo! Think about how silly that is, right? With a one lot, I made $1,000. You made 200% in one day of the money that you actually put to risk in the market. Congratulations. But now think about that same 20 points. If you put on 100 contracts and it took 5 or 8 or 10 trades to get there, and every time you took off 70 with, let's say, 3 points, even 2 points on average is first TSP. Maybe sometimes it was 5, sometimes it was 1.5 points. It is what it is. They're generated by the market. There is no fixed equation. But let's say you garnered 2 points 10 times a day with your 70 lot that you took off, right? You're trading 100, you're still riding some with a BE. That's $7,000 per trade times 5, 10, 15. And you still have 30 on that you can play with. And when you play with it and let it ride, what's the risk? 0. Nothing. Nada. Bupkis. Why? We take some profit off. What do you do with the rest? BE on the balance. You've put $7,000 in the bank 5, 8, 10, 12, 15 times a day, who cares what happens to the rest of it, right? See the problem with the retail trader mentality? It has to be a open and close case of the market opens and it just trends right into the close, and they capture the entire move with one lot and nothing changes and nothing goes wrong. It has to be perfect for them to get their way. For us, we just have to participate. Who cares? The meat comes from trading size and putting the sure thing in your pocket. Now, the cynicist will say, but what if I rode the whole 100 lots? You want to ride 100 lots? Yeah, then trade 300 lots. Take off 2 at TSP, and now you get to ride your 100. And I promise you, there will only be 1 day a month, never more than 3, where that click once and hold strategy might outperform, but probably not. And that's click once and hold what you got the entire day kind of thing. And it still probably won't, because we still have multiple swings that we can load up on, even in the same direction on a trading day, trending day. Does that make sense? So you end up getting more than the day's range with more than the size you traded with, because you're doing more and being proactive. I can't stress that enough. But people have in their little heads this little nugget of, but I want to ride it. Oh, wouldn't that be great? That's Alice in Wonderland trading. It's not real trading. That's like saying, wouldn't it be great if I was a car dealer and somebody that needed cars for all of their employees showed up and bought all of the cars on the lot? Yeah, that would be great. And then what? You could retire? Come on. You'd have a great month. You'd have a great quarter. But you still have to come to work tomorrow and buy more cars and sell more cars, right? So if that's the case, in any other analogy, that would be stupid. And the fact that it wouldn't happen in the car dealer's analogy. And in the trading analogy, you have to get the entire scenario perfect. Perfection is an illusion, and I don't want you to strive for it. I want you to be excellent, proactive, pro traders, trading size, do your job, put it in the bank, come back tomorrow, and do it again. Why? Because we can and we do repeat it, no matter what the market's doing. Some days are easier than others. Some days have more range than others. Some days have more logic than others, but it doesn't matter. That's our job. Okay? Frico Suave says, light bulb on. I am not trading 2 accounts yet. Okay, well, that's stuff we go over in the other rooms. Anyway, what else we got? I don't have anything else on the board here. No other questions, comments, observations, anything for me, anything for Moderator B?
No, other than if you're still one of the beginning Silver Room members, make sure you watch that other video I did on the 10 steps of getting started in the Silver Room again and again until you get to the point where you understand how to interpret the posts and put your lines on the chart and get your entries and your exits down. So that's good review.
Again and again? Why do you insist on torturing them? It's bad enough they have to listen to me.
Good point. I got a question for you, HT, that maybe you can expound on. I didn't. Over here, we had a bonus money. When we were at the market, we were in sell mode. We were come down. We broke through 33, and I think the comment on this was much lower than 33, and will be for lower. And when we got here, you said low enough, and it was bonus money. But I think it bounced, and I didn't have a buy in here on my chart to take a bounce up, whereas I did over here. And maybe you can walk us through the 2 different scenarios. But on this one, and the reason I did over here was because this was the level for bonus money, this 27. We had another level right below that, very close to it, 26, that it could go down to. So I normally think when we get down below bonus money, we can take a trade the other way, a bounce trade But this one I was sort of waiting for this to come to this next level down of 31 to take it higher, and it didn't. So I never did take a bounce trade there. Maybe you can kind of expand on that for those two areas.
Yeah, you missed it. I said 33 is going to hold us up for a while south of, although we should see 31 later and possibly more, 31 quarter later and possibly more. I said 33 is going to hold us up for a while. What time was that? 12:30.
Yeah, I think that was just my point. Is I think I didn't put it there because I missed it. But some people may look at that and say, well, why wasn't there a buy there? And there probably should have been on my chart, but I missed it.
I'm reposting it. I guess it did say I just said south of 30. I was thinking 33 would be low enough, but I said 31 quarters, 33 testing, and then we'll see. Cannot rule on an era. South of 33, 32.75 would be bonus money. And that's as far as we got, and then we had the resale, and it was fine, so it is what it is.
Okay.
That's one of those things where it just was kind of your interpretation and weren't thinking that, and I didn't post it clearly enough, so either way, missed is missed. It is what it is.
Okay, good.
Fiona says, good session, you two. Make a great team. These sessions are excellent with Modesta's input. We started calling them muddy waters here in the office for some reason.
We can move on.
Nothing to see here. Anything else? Bueller? Anyone? There will be another video or two going up shortly. I know admin was editing one today, and she'll probably do this one tomorrow. So it's usually a 1 or 2 day lag time, depends on her load of other things she has to deal with. But she'll get them all up, this one and probably tomorrow's as well. So we've got a couple, I know one for sure, but probably this one and maybe even tomorrow's. So it should help. So bring some good questions, and this will be good therapy, because it doesn't matter who you are. If somebody asks a question, we're not all that dissimilar. So it's probably something that you or somebody else has wondered at some point. So 1, it gives a more full session, and 2, keeps it positive, and 3, it was probably something that somebody had a question about at some point. Gasmaster says, this was a great session tonight. You're welcome. Well, hopefully they get better as time goes on. Thanks, as always. See you in the morning. You're welcome, John. Let's see here. Fitzroy says, Moderator B, where is your 10-step video? You can ask admin, but they're all on it should be on our YouTube channel. Fitz, I don't know, Mod, if you know more about that.
When you log in, it'll be right in the center. I think you scroll down a little bit. I think there's a thing that says, oh, I know what it is. It's on blog. Yeah, right here. It is.
Exactly.
There it is. It's on the blog, right in the middle.
Perfect. Yes. Nancy says, great chat session. Got to leave early. Have a good evening, HT and Mod B. See you at 8. You too there, kiddo. Mike Carroll says, sessions are very helpful. See you in the AM. You're welcome, Mike. Well, trying to make it better. Onward ever, backward never. Better, 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 better. Gazmaster says, is it possible to have access to videos below the chat room on the weekends? They were supposed to have been correcting that. I think it's squared away now. Oh, it is now? Yeah. It wasn't last weekend, as in 8-9 days ago, but it is as of this past weekend. I know they were working on that last week. We were very specific about that, and they were looking out for our best interests and trying to keep, things from being hacked or access to people who hadn't paid or what. I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be people who paid. I want people to get access to it. We're not. Matt Wiley says, HT, I think I'm getting hung up on how much to put on a given aggressive entrance. So if you're a 100-lot trader, as you say, are you putting that 100 lots on at the most aggressive level? And if that didn't work, and could you not get it off before it's red? Well, first of all, you've got to be comfortable trading size all the time, no matter what. I mean, this should never happen. But you've got to be able to stomach, both financially and emotionally, 3 or even 5 trades in a row not working. I mean, it never happens. But if that's kind of a, and it's not any kind of specific guideline, but I'm using that as a hypothetical, that if that bothers you, then you got no business trading that much size. You're too levered up, even if it's just emotionally. So the aggressive nature has less to do with size traded than it has to do with ability to handle it if it doesn't go your way. If it bothers you, then you're trading too much size. Does that answer your question? I'm still reading the rest of it, but it's all kind of the same theme. Maria says, thank you, HT and Mud B. Have a nice afternoon. You too, Muddy Waters. That's hilarious. That may stick. You may be careful of that. Everybody has a nickname around here. Just because I'm so dyslexic, I can be looking right at you and can't spit out your name. Gasmaster says, maybe keep it for silver members, HT. Well, the training stuff, you know, we're not giving away trade secrets here. This is about how to make the best use of the information, and I want somebody to, you know, benefit from it. I want to help people, and it doesn't matter if it's for free or not. If they can help them, even if they don't stay with us, if it helps them on a trade, then it was worth it. So it doesn't really matter. I don't want to be restrictive like that. I mean, platinum and gold room training is completely different. That's where everything comes from. That's the keys to the vault. This is just helping people because we post it. It's out there. So if you post it, you want to help people be able to, you know, make the most of it, even if it's just from a demo trading or a theoretic standpoint or note-taking standpoint. If it helps them understand it, that's great. Gasmaster says, knowing how some people are, wanting something for nothing. Most retail traders have that. You can't cheap your way to the top in anything, but they all feel like they're entitled to know what I know right now in the next 5 minutes and for free, of course. I can't help those people. No one can help those people. And those people don't realize what a box they're putting themselves in. Their expectations are unrealistic, and they would be unfulfilled in any other endeavor, in any other career, in any other venture. But they think because they're a trader and I'm a trader that somehow they're entitled to know what I know. Wrongo, Congo, bongo. All right? So we can only help the people who want to be helped. But, you know, as Dennis Miller famously said, I have no problem helping the helpless, but I have no use for the useless. And let's just leave it at that. Okay, anything else? Going once, going twice? All right, well, admin should have this one up, I'd say, in the next 2 days. And if something that we talked about here resonates with you, yes, I recommend, you know, reviewing it from time to time, reviewing them all from time to time. Remember our talk last week about that? As your level of exposure to this type of information, to this type of market behavior, to the posts, and your own trading, which is basically interacting with that information from a personal perspective, as that increases, the amount that you can glean from all the information that we're trying to put out there for you will also increase. You'll make better use. You could hear the exact same thing 15 times. But on your first day here, if you've only been trading for 6 months, most of it's just going to fly right over your head. It's not any kind of aspersion I'm casting. It's just reality. It's about familiarity with a given topic, with a given endeavor. As that familiarity and comfort improves, so will your ability to digest and assimilate and put to use all of the information that we're giving you here. You can read the exact same thing now, and in 3 months or 6 months, you read it again, you go, oh my God, I don't even know how did I walk past that? It was staring me right in the face. Good, because it only matters what you do from here going forward. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. The past doesn't equal the future. I can't do anything about your past. I didn't teach you to do all the stupid things you were doing. I didn't teach myself to do all the stupid things I was doing, because I did them too. But I wasn't willing to accept it, and I knew there had to be a better way. There is, and we'll help you get there. Okay? Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for coming, and we will see you at 8 a.m.
See you, everybody.
Buenas noches. Good night. Thanks, Moderator B.
No problem. My pleasure.